Hello there everyone and welcome to a Sentimental Florals layering guide video. So first up I have stamped the images. All of the images are from the stamp set and I am going to start with the first stencil first. So I'm just going to pop this into place onto one side of the little oval floral frame that we have here. For the open flowers I am going to be using a light yellow, so this is the chamomile ink, so I'm just using a small detailed blending tool to add that through there. I'm then going to be using the hydrangea ink for the rest of the flower buds that you can see, the kind of tulip type flowers there. So once that has been done, all I'm going to do then is move that stencil over slightly and I'm going to be able to colour in the other flowers on the other side of the frame. I'm going to use the same colours as I used for the ones on the other side. So I am going to be using the chamomile for the open type daisy flowers, and then I'm going to be using that hydrangea ink for the small little tulip flowers there. Once that's done, I can move that over slightly again, and this is going to add in a second layer to those images. I've just lined up the little flower centers because they get covered up on this layer here. So for the little open type flowers, I am going to be using the Snapdragon ink to add that color in there, and I am going to be using the ultra violet ink for the second layer of the tulip buds there. Once that's done, I'm just going to move that stencil around slightly and I'm going to add in the second layer to these flowers that we have over the side here. So again, as before, I'm going to be using the Snapdragon ink for the large open daisies and then the ultraviolet ink for the small little tulip buds. Once that's done, I can move that around and we're going to add colour to these small little flowers that you can see on the side. So again, these are from the stamp set. I'm going to add the same colours I added for the little daisies on the little frame. So I've used the chamomile ink for the base layer, moved that over slightly, and I'm going to add in the Snapdragon for that one. I'm then going to add the little tulip flowers that we can see over here. So I've just added that into place around the outline. I'm going to be using the hydrangea ink, for the base layer. And then for the second layer, once I've moved that over slightly, I am going to add in the ultraviolet ink. I can then add in this little singular tulip flower down here using the same colors as before. So the hydrangea and also the ultraviolet ink for the second layer. So once that's done, I can then move on to the second stencil, and I'm just going to pop these into place around the flower clusters that you can see on the frame that we have. So for this layer here, I am going to be using the grass field ink to add in that first layer of green. I can move the stencil over slightly and then add in the base layer for all of the little leaves that we have on the other side of the floral frame as well, again using that Grassfield ink. So once I'm happy with the amount of ink, I'm just going to slide that stencil over a little bit and then just line up the second layer of these little leaves that we have. So for this layer here, I will be using the Shadow Creek ink and I will be using the same inks for all of the leaves as well. So I'm just going to move that stencil down again and add in the second layer to the little leaves that we have on this flower cluster on the side of the floral frame, again with the Shadow Creek ink. So once the frame is now be completed, I'm then going to move on to the little leaves that you can see on the little individual flowers that we have to the side. So I'm just going to line up the actual stencil with the outline for these leaves that you can see on this double tulip here. So for the base layer, I did use that Grassfield ink and then moving the stencil over slightly, just down a little bit to add in the second layer using the Shadow Creek ink for that one there. And then going to move on to the singular tulip. And again, as before, I'm using the Grassfield ink for the base layer and then the Shadow Creek ink for the second layer there. I then have a couple of little singular leaves down here. So for this little tiny one, I'm just going to add that into place. These are really easy to line up. It doesn't matter if you don't get it completely perfect with that second layer, it's going to look completely fine anyway. So I have used the grass fields for both of the base layers there, and then for the second layers I will be using the Shadow Creek ink. So that is all the layering complete. We really do hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again really soon. Bye bye.